Hello, good morning. I haven't posted anything for a little while, and I thought I'd do a little short video on some things that have happened to me or some experiences that I've went through over the past day or so. What I was going to talk about today is controlling or managing your inner filter. And what I mean by that is sometimes we get into situations where we're having a conversation with someone and we may say things that we wish that we wouldn't have at the time, or we reacted on our emotions in a way that caused problems to even alienate us away from people. And that can be a very miserable thing if you stand back and realize that you've done that. And there are ways that you can correct it. You can ask for kind of like a redo on the conversation by apologizing, first of all, and then also realizing that your inner filter needs to be looked at. And how I discovered that was I was at an event on the weekend with my dad, and I do custom paint for a living, and so we went to this event where we swap panels. We paint a panel and then we swap with another individual. And so there's a bunch of very talented artists all at this event, and my dad and I were walking around the room talking to people. And so my dad started being very critical with one individual at the event, and probably said things that he shouldn't have. Maybe others were thinking it, but he actually opened his mouth and said it. And I just kind of walked away and thought, oh my gosh. And as I watched that, it was kind of hard to watch because it alienated a person away from my dad. And then I noticed other people in the room were being affected by things that he was saying too. And at one point I watched him, he was sitting at a table by himself and not really having a good time. And what happened from me observing that is I realized that I'm not necessarily doing things that were very critical towards people at times, but I am sometimes not controlling my inner filter or my emotions in a way that is allowing me to communicate in a way that's gonna not cause me problems or not hurt someone else. Because what happened the day before is I had a conversation with a friend, and I didn't control or manage my inner filter, and I said some things that probably weren't helpful, or I wasn't listening, allowing my emotions to take over and not listening to simply what a person has to say, and respecting the fact that what they say and what's coming out of their mouth is what they feel and what they want you to understand. And I have to accept that and not push towards something that maybe I want to hear or whatever. So what I did from the whole experience of watching my dad and then realizing that what I did probably wasn't, not probably was, it was not good. So I called back and I simply apologized for my behavior. And maybe there are certain things that caused me to react in that way, but that's really my own problem. Because really, when it boils down to it, everything that we do has to do with the inner workings of what's going on with us as a person. So I got a redo on that conversation that I had yesterday with the person because of the apology, and it went really well. And was it hard to do that? Yeah, it's a little bit tough because you're admitting that something that you're doing is not cool. And so, that's not always easy to do. And I kind of learned from watching my dad that he didn't apologize for that, and he didn't do it to anyone else later on. He even admitted that there were people that he said things to the year before at this event, and those people won't even talk to him now, and he didn't apologize to them either, so it wasn't solving anything. So I actually learned something from watching his experience, which I'm grateful for that. Nothing I can do about what's going on with him. But it helped me today, and this morning I feel much better about the conversation I had with my friend. And not that it makes it go away, but at least it makes it a little smoother. And then maybe this person isn't going to avoid me or block me or not want to talk to me anymore. And that's the whole point of the apology and working on redoing the conversations that you have sometimes with people. And you can repair things if you go back and do that and really pay attention to the inner workings of what's going on the inside of yourself, so that you can manage those filters in a way that makes life much better for the people around you and yourself. So maybe think about that today, and hopefully that's helpful to everyone. And if you have any comments, leave them below. Thanks.